I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. Radical right extremist Republican Matt Gaetz, who is currently under federal investigation for engaging in sex trafficking and raping a minor, he keeps showing up at youth rallies. I mean, he's being investigated for sex trafficking minors and raping a minor, and he continues to show up at various youth rallies, hanging out with children. It's very, very, very disturbing. Most recently, Matt Gaetz turned up at a Texas youth summit. I want to play for you his appearance at this Texas youth summit. First, he tells the crowd that he's just glad to be in a room where he's one of the oldest people. I'm not sure you can get much creepier than that. Play the clip.
You know, you can go knock on 200 doors on a Saturday. You can edit video. You can open and unlock an iPhone. That can be very difficult for others, especially in Congress. I'm just glad to be in a room where I'm one of the oldest people.
And so I said, I'm not sure how you can get much creepier than that before I said, play the clip. Well, perhaps this other line that he gave during his speech at the youth rally tops it. He says Steve Bannon and Mark Meadows are part of the intellectual architecture of the MAGA radical right movement. Here, play this clip.
Like Benny Thompson, who wants to go and terrorize patriots, good Americans like Steve Bannon and Mark Meadows, who are part of the intellectual architecture of our movement.
You know, here's a post that Matt Gaetz did on his social media handle. Great time at the Texas Youth Summit. You know, one of the things that Democratic Congress member Ted Lieu of California said, he goes, GOP Rep Matt Gaetz is entitled to the presumption of innocence. However, he is not entitled to sit on the Judiciary Committee that has oversight over the Department of Justice that is investigating him for sex crimes, a conflict of interest. At GOP leader, talking to Kevin McCarthy, must remove him from the committee. And, you know, while Matt Gaetz is being investigated for sex trafficking minors and raping a minor, Kevin McCarthy, the leader, the House Minority Leader, put Matt Gaetz on the House Judiciary Committee and gave him that very prestigious assignment because in the GOP, being under investigation for sex trafficking involving minors gets you a promotion. That's how you get top-level committee assignments in the MAGA Republican Party. And like Ted Lieu says, while everyone's entitled to a presumption of innocence, also it is downright disturbing that Matt Gaetz, who is under investigation for these allegations of sex trafficking and involving sex trafficking of minors, the fact that he keeps showing up again and again and again at youth rallies is one of the most disturbing things, you know, that there is. It's like he's trying to go to these rallies intentionally to be around little kids. It's sickening. I want to show you this other video that we made at MeidasTouch. We reposted it again recently, and we wrote, "Now is a good time to remind everyone that Matt Gaetz was the only no vote in the entire Congress against legislation that targeted human trafficking." Here, play the clip that we made.
Why then would I be the only no vote in the entire Congress against legislation that had human trafficking in the title?
The New York Times with the report that Republican Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz is under investigation by the Justice Department over claims of a, quote, sexual relationship with a 17-year-old. Investigators examining whether he, quote, violated federal sex trafficking laws.
Why then would I be the only no vote in the entire Congress against legislation that had human trafficking in the title?
Yeah, that was a MeidasTouch ad that we made a little bit ago that we just relaunched and replayed in light of the recent news that Matt Gaetz was actually seeking a pardon from Donald Trump repeatedly with Mark Meadows and other aides to pardon him for engaging in, or for the allegations that he engaged in sex trafficking of minors. And as we know, a pardon is, as judges have held, is also demonstrative of guilt. You don't get pardons unless you are trying to seek forgiveness or seek other relief from the executive. Overall, very, very, very disturbing stuff. But it's important that we report it to you because it's another element of this MAGA cartel, dangerous, sick, disgusting, anti-American horribleness. And it's truly exemplified in all of those things I just said. Gaetz continuing to hang out with kids, being promoted to the Judiciary Committee by the GOP, getting rewarded for the conduct while he's under investigation for sex trafficking involving minors. That's who the Republicans are, folks. That is who they are. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit the subscribe button right now, and we also got a Patreon account. If you want to help support independent media, go to patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Until next time, I'm Ben Meiselas.
MeidasTouch is unapologetically pro-democracy. And look, we know you are too. So please make sure you check out our best-selling shirt and our best-selling gear, the unapologetically pro-democracy gear. And hey, while you're at it, make sure you check out my favorite shirt and one of our most famous designs. It wasn't rigged, you're just a loser. At store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.